Hi everyone, welcome to another Sailor Moon Crystal episode review. Today we'll be covering Act 3, Ray Sailor Mars. That is the new episode. And I will be comparing it to the 1990s version and this version. So this episode starts out where Queen Beryl is berating Jadeite for failing again. This is the second time he's failed. And also another thing that's changed is we get to see Malachite, or sorry, not Malachite, Nephlite and Zoisite make the scene. So we kind of get introduced to them, and I didn't realize this until now, until this new reboot. Zoisite is actually a guy and not a girl. The 1990s episodes made him a girl, so they changed it. So that's stayed the same from the manga. He's a guy, and in the 1990s, Nephlite showed up when Queen Beryl got rid of Jedi. But now we get to see him, and she's kind of giving him like a final warning: get energy for the Great Ruler, and do your job. So, but this episode, that's kind of where that takes off, and then we get to the shrine where Sailor Mars lives, and that's another thing. In the 1990s and now, that stayed the same. Sailor Mars lives in the shrine, so that hasn't changed. So another thing that's changed in this episode is from the 1990s, when we meet Sailor Mars for the first time, we see her grandfather. Well, I don't think he's going to be in this one. I think she lives at the shrine alone, so that's kind of what I'm getting, because he wasn't in this episode. So, Serena is at school. We're going to jump ahead. Serena's at school, and she's asleep, and Luna kind of is like, well, we have a scout meeting at the arcade, so she wakes up when she hears arcade. So Amy, and Luna go to the arcade, and while Amy and Luna are talking outside, Sailor Moon, or Serena, is playing the Sailor V game. Well, she beats stage 2, and she gets the communicators for both her and Amy. And the communicators, again, come out of the machine, so that's different. Another thing is, uh, she meets Sailor Mars, or Ray, on the bus when she goes with Amy to her computer class, because she's riding with her, but she gets off at the shrine to go talk to Ray because she's so beautiful, so she's really liking that. Another thing that's different is in this episode, uh, when Serena goes back to the shrine the next day, Luna and her are on the bus, and Luna's talking to her, and all of a sudden Luna starts meowing, and Serena looks next to her, and she sees Darien. And Darien's like, why are you talking to yourself? And she's really kind of taken at this. She's falling in love with him, basically. At least that's what I'm thinking, because she keeps staring at him every time she meets him. So she gets to the shrine, and the parents of a missing kid. By the way, another similarity between this episode and now is, or the 1990s episode and now, is there's a bus that goes past Sailor Mars's shrine, and they kidnap kids and take them to the Negaverse. That's different. They don't take them to just an empty black hole. They take them to the Negaverse layer, and they steal their energy. So, a parent of a missing kid is at the shrine blaming Sailor Mars for the disappearance, and Serena shows up and is like, "Excuse me," and she's like, she's not, and she's not the cause of it or anything." So the parents asking Serena, "Well, you were the cause of it?" "Well, no." Serena's like, "No." So they leave, and Sailor Mars, or Ray, tells Serena that maybe she shouldn't be around her anymore. And then she goes to her little fire room and does her little praying chant, and she sees Jadeite in the flames, and she sees Jadeite taking Serena. Well, she runs after Serena, Sailor Mars does, and so Jadeite actually kidnaps Ray, and Serena sees this, uses the disguise pin to transform into a flight attendant to get on the bus. That's another thing. In the 1990s version of Sailor Moon, Serena transformed into a flight attendant. Why a flight attendant? I don't know. But she gets transformed into a flight attendant to get on the bus. So that's one thing. Another thing is, uh, sorry if I'm jumping around a lot, but I want to make sure I cover everything before the internet loses connection again. So another thing is, and I'm backtrack a bit, another thing is, between this episode and the 1990s, in the 1990s they had a lot of filler episodes, and I think Sailor Mars made the scene in the 1990s at episode 7, so there were like, I don't know, a lot of fillers. But anyway, uh, so, um, so that's different. And this one's going a lot faster, where Act 1, Episode 1 for Sailor Moon Crystal was Sailor Moon. Episode 2, Act 2 was Sailor Mercury. And now Episode 3, Act 3 is Sailor Mars. So there's really kind of no breaks to find the scouts. This one's going a lot faster. It's following the manga. And so, back to this episode, uh, Serena transforms into the flight attendant, jumps on the back of the bus. She sees Tuxedo Mask, who catches Luna, because I believe Luna, fell off her shoulders. And then after the bus disappeared, uh, Tuxedo Mask looks down and sees a hat that Serena used or was wearing when she transformed into the flight attendant. And then he's like, "Well, she did transform. Who is she?" So now we have Serena and Ray in the Negaforce lair. Ray is knocked out, and Serena's kind of getting her surroundings. So she notifies Amy and Luna, because Luna notifies Amy when she's in class, and she apparently leaves. So they both Amy and Luna tell Serena to transform into Sailor Moon, which she does. And this is different. In the 1990s episode, when they did the bus scene, or the bus episode with Jadeite, the only two that were in the Abyss area, is what I'm calling it, was Sailor Mars and Sailor Moon. Sailor Mercury didn't make the bus. Well, somehow after Sailor Mercury transforms, she shows up to be with Sailor Moon. Don't know how. But anyway, we have all three scouts there, or all three of them actually, because Ray regains consciousness. She sees Sailor Moon and she's like, "Usagi, that's you." And Sailor Moon's denying it. And also, another thing is, she grabs Jadeite's arm. Sailor Mars does. She grabs Jadeite's arm, and I think, burns it a bit, and her symbol appears. Luna gives her the transformation pin for Sailor Mars and tells her to shout Mars power makeup. So then we see Sailor Mars's transformation, and it's similar. The 2D of Sailor Mars's transformation and the 3D are kind of similar, because in the 2D she had the fire rings around her body, and she does have that again when she transforms in the 3D effect. The 3D transformation, for me, it goes a lot faster than the 2D. So that's something that's different. And then so Sailor Moon, Sailor Mercury, and Sailor Mars have all been reunited and found. So Sailor Mars makes the scene, and they end the episode where all the kids are returned to their parents, and Amy, Serena, and Ray become friends. So that's where episode 3 ends. And uh, Hulu added something new. They added a preview for the next episode, which will air on the third Saturday of August. So not next Saturday, but the following. But anyway, they showed a preview of Act 4, Masquerade Party, or Masquerade Ball, I can't remember. But I do not think Sailor Jupiter will make that scene. I think that's going to be a filler episode, and I do not think Sailor Jupiter will make the scene until Act 5 or Act 6. So I think they will have some filler episodes, just not a lot like the 90s episodes did. So there you go. That is Act 3. That is my Act 3 Sailor Moon Crystal episode review. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.